Hello, my name is Margaret Castilia, and I'm a rising junior in Stuyvesant High School. Here are some things that I want you to know about my experience at Sty. So, for some basic facts about Stuyvesant, the school day goes from 8 a.m. in the morning to 3:35 p.m. every single day. There are 10 periods in a day, each with 41 minutes, and you have 4 minutes to move between classes. This can be a little bit hard because there are 10 floors in the entire building. And for most people, the school day doesn't just end at 3:35. A lot of people attend the clubs and publications that meet after school, which means their days end at 5 or 6. For the learning environment in STI is less about competing with others and more about managing your own workload. Again, classes are 41 minutes long and sometimes they're shorter, so lessons move very quickly. STI's learning environment is very traditional and it is based on note-taking, letter grades, grade point average, and mostly testing and quizzes. Testing and quizzes, um, or as called summative assessments, make up 70% of your grade. Good time management is extremely important to have at STI because it's the only way that you can stay on top of tests, due dates for projects, and homework. If you're considering STI and you don't really like a fast-paced learning environment, I would reconsider going to STI. STI has a good amount of academic support in the form of after-school tutoring, peer tutoring, and pre-made study guides. However, it's a very large school of 3,300 kids, so it may still feel like counseling in general is hard to receive, whether it's support in the form of academic help or support in terms of other things. At the bottom left, you can see Arista. Arista is STI's honor society. It has pre-made study guides on its website, and it also provides, as you can see here, tutoring in case you're struggling with a class and you would like help from a student tutor. So this tutor would be someone who has recently taken the class either either the previous year or the year before and knows what the class has. At the right is an AIS schedule, which is essentially after school group tutoring from a teacher who teaches the subject. And this is an example of an AIS schedule showing you when you can find certain sessions for different subjects. For extracurriculars, this is something STI is quite well known for because it has over 200 clubs. So there are a lot of options for how you want to spend your time after school. For example, there are 42 sports teams. I'm on the girls' swim team. There are multiple publications such as The Spectator, The Indicator, Caliber. There's a yearly dance performance. This this entire dance group is called SOS, and it includes a lot of crews such as hip hop, Latin, flow, etc. Additionally, there are 4 theater called Stuyvesant Theater Community or STC performances. This includes the fall musical, the winter drama, Sing, which I'll go into later, and the spring comedy. I'm usually a part of these. There are also choirs, orchestras, and bands, and these are a little bit different because not only are there after-school rehearsals when a concert is coming up, these are also electives you can take. So people who are a part of a choir or an orchestra or band would take that as a class in the day. Right here, you can see my choir, and you can also see a scene from Sing. And a little bit about my experience. So, freshman year, I took health and art appreciation. These are both one semester classes. One semester you'll take health, and one semester you'll take art appreciation. I also took Global 1, honors geometry, honors biology, although you do have the option of taking AP biology, PE or physical education, gym, choir, which, as I said, is an elective, Mandarin 1, which is part of STY's 3 required years of taking a language. STY has Mandarin, Japanese, Spanish, French, German, and Latin, and also freshman composition, which is the required freshman English class. Sophomore year, I took molecular science and genetics, which is a full year elective, 1 period. I also took honors chemistry, although you do have the option of taking AP chemistry. I took choir again. Choir is all 4 years, and I continued with Mandarin. Additionally, I took computer science and drafting. Computer science is required. However, you have the option of taking 1 semester of computer science and 1 semester of drafting, or you can take 2 semesters of just computer science. I took honors algebra 2, AP European history, which is one of the 2 AP social studies classes that you have the option of taking as a sophomore, the other one being AP world history. And finally, Foundations of Literature, which is the required sophomore English class. And here are some of my top school activities. So here I have props, and I was a member of the props crew for a few shows before becoming a co-director for Sing props during the 2nd semester of my sophomore year. And a little bit about Sing is that it's a competition between the sophomores and the freshmen, both grades that work together, the juniors, and the seniors. Each one of these teams, if you want to call it that, has a month and a half to write a play, pick out the music, write the lyrics to those songs, build all of the sets, all of the props, pick out actors, and stage a performance, a completely original performance. And in the case of props, for example, we built the cactuses that you can see here, as well as the wheels on the bottom. And we also get to do backstage work, which is where we carry props on and off stage during the actual performance. The next activity I have here is National History Day. This is a year-long history competition that ended at the national level for me and my group. We performed a 10-minute skit on a particular strike in MIC Chinatown. And National History Day basically required us to meet up weekly, several times a week after school in order to rehearse our performance and also meet up during breaks such as winter break in order to build our own sets. The performance that I did required us to write our own script, to stage everything by ourselves, and acquire all of the necessary props and sets that we needed. However, performance isn't the only category of National History Day. For example, you can build an exhibit or you can do a documentary. National History Day also required me to travel a bit, especially for states and for nationals. For example, in states, I got to go up to upstate New York for a few days, and for nationals, I went down to Maryland. And finally, we have swimming. So, as I mentioned before, I'm on the Stuyvesant girls swim and dive team. The season goes from August to November, and practice is every day inside Stuyvesant's own pool. Although there is no traveling like there is for National History Day, we still have to go to different places of New York in order to compete for meets. For this can range from the Bronx to Brooklyn. And here's a video of the finale of a sing performance my freshman year. Okay. This is part this is going to be part of the National History Day performance that I did, and this video is from the cities round, which was in Brooklyn.
That's my 6-year-old granddaughter. I helped cut the thread. Baba can call me Yusuf now. Come. Our entire family is at work, so there is no one to watch her at home. There are so many babies here. I'm gonna check on her. Yeah, did you hear? Kid from the factory across the street fell down the elevator shaft and died. The mom was fired because she delayed a big order. Not even a day to grieve? Ha! There's not even time to eat lunch. Local 2320.
And this is part of my choir's performance during the spring concert. This is again a finale, and it was part of the spring concert that was in my second semester of sophomore year. And finally, this is a brochure that I made for Sty when I was in the 8th grade, and I was still thinking about potential high schools to apply to. Sty was my dreams high school since around 7th grade because I felt like it was a school that would challenge me intellectually, and I also wanted to return to the kind of large public school setting that I experienced in my elementary school. I was also drawn to the fact that Sty had a swim team with its own swimming pool and that there were so many clubs and opportunities offered at Sty. Thank you.